Air, curtains, floor, gobshite.
It's Breaking the News with Des Clark.
I am Des Clark and this is Breaking the News, the show that breaks the week's news and asks four opinionated panellists to put it back together again. And joining me this week, comedian Bruce Devlin, and with him is stand-up and writer Laura Lex. And facing off against them is stand-up Neil Delamere, and joining him is comic Susie McCabe. In the news this week, Amazon opened its first ever hair salon in London, trialling augmented reality. The tech allows customers to digitally try out hairstyles so you can see exactly what it would look like if the hairdresser had done what you asked for. Marks and Spencer has stepped up its Caterpillar rights wrangle with Aldi after the discounter said its Cuthbert cake was returning for charity. M&S has claimed their cake, Colin, is the original, but with lookalikes, Cecil, Wiggles, Curly and Clyde all available, Colin might want to keep his head down to avoid the child support payments. And Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer was thrown out of a pub in Bath after its landlord said he disagreed with him about his views on lockdown restrictions. A spokesperson for the Labour Party said they were thrilled by the event as they had finally encountered a person who actually knew what Keir Starmer stood for. You've met the panel, let's crack on with round one. And this is the Broken News round, where our teams have to guess two major stories of the week that have been mashed together into one single news headline. So Bruce and Laura, can you tell me our first story, please?
Nicola Sturgeon has given the green light for Scotland
to break away and join the European Super League.
The First Minister
will chair a meeting of
shops, pubs and restaurants
to discuss
the most significant relaxation since the second lockdown came into place.
Boris Johnson calls the proposal ludicrous.
Would that be the reopening of non-essential retail services, gyms, that kind of thing, come the 26th of April?
It's the right answer. Well done, Bruce. It's the biggest change in restrictions since the start of the year, and that includes, as Bruce says, the reopening of hospitality, gyms and non-essential shops. Nicola Sturgeon has also said that from Monday you can travel anywhere across Britain for any purpose. I don't know about you, but I don't fancy it now that the thrill has gone, said Margaret Ferrier. Oh, Bruce, we've been waiting for this day coming for a while. What are you thinking? Are you excited about all the non-essential shops and businesses opening?
Well, with hospitality, you can go out, but you're not allowed to drink unless you're outside, unless you are, I don't know, dressed as a chicken, but you have to be out by 8 or definitely by 10, and then you have to try and have a baby by 12, and then you're not allowed to get chips on the way home. So I'm a bit like, oh, Nicola, you know, it's either happening or it's not.
Laura, what about you? From Monday, the opening up of many non-essential businesses, do you think this is a time for excitement then?
Well, I would, but Debenhams has gone, hasn't it?
That's true.
I'm not being funny, but I'm over 34 with the hips of a Greek birthing goddess. There's nowhere for me to buy clothes left now. And I know everybody's like, oh, just buy them from Marks and Spencer's. I can't, mate. Marks and Spencer's also sell crisps. I can't buy jeans from somewhere that also sells crisps because by the time I get the jeans home, they don't fit me anymore.
Susie, what do you make of it? Obviously, a big day on Monday, things going as planned, lots of things opening up. Is it a time for excitement now for Scotland?
Look, we're all just sitting tight. Look, let's stop beating around the bush. It's the pub, right? It's the pub. Because everyone's like, oh, it's so good that the museums and galleries... No one cares about museums and galleries. We're just all looking forward to going to the pub, right? I'm looking forward to walking up to the bar and for the person who's serving me to say, what would you like? And I say, a pint. And they go, lager? Heavy? What would you like? And I go, gin. That's what I would like, a pint of gin.
Clever girl.
You've taught me well, Bruce, you've taught me well.
Neil Delamere, what are you thinking to this big day for Scotland coming up on Monday? A time for excitement with all these things opening?
I'm very envious of you guys in Scotland because, this is allowed because of the vaccine, and we don't necessarily have the same rate of vaccine where I'm talking to you from. There's a real pressure on the vaccine rollout here. Like one politician said, we should be buying vaccines from the Ku Klux Klan if they have them. He actually said that. You think, I don't know if I'd be buying vaccines from the Ku Klux Klan. PPE maybe, but not necessarily vaccines. So I can't wait until that society reopens. I really can't.
But obviously, to make this work, we're going to have to undergo regular testing. And we can be eligible from Monday for 2 tests a week. Bruce, are you going to be ordering some home tests?
No, because I don't plan to leave my house. I'm quite used to things. I don't really want to swab myself unnecessarily. I don't want to throw up. And again, I'm really not in a rush to see anyone, and that includes my family.
Susie, are you one for the home test? Will you be ordering yours online on Monday?
Here's the thing with the test. It says it can either come back positive, negative, or inconclusive. What is the point, people?
That's a bit like any episode of Taggart.
And also the name lateral flow sounds like
Oh dear.
it sounds like a colour, doesn't it? It sounds like a Farrow and Ball paint colour. What colour's your kitchen? Oh, it's Farrow and Ball lateral flow. It's terrible.
One of the things for this is, I think, isn't it, Nicola Sturgeon said that you need to get these tests if you're going to one of the Scottish Islands because they have such a low rate of COVID that they're worried. Like, if you lived in the Hebrides, I would insist on everybody getting a lateral flow test. And the first person who didn't take one and landed on the island, I would go full Wicker Man on. If you lit one mainlander on fire as an example to all the rest, I would.
After a year of lockdown, it can be disorientating to see people in a social setting. For example, I was really shocked to see my uncle in the park, especially as he's supposed to be in prison. Oh, well done, panel. Yes, changing restrictions is the right answer. Bruce and Laura, you get 2 points for that. Ooh. And now to you, Neil and Susie. What was the other story we were after?
Is this the breakaway teams to join the European Super League, which is not happening now?
Yes, this is the news that all 6 English clubs involved in the European Super League plans have quit the competition following a huge backlash from fans. The clubs wanted a new midweek competition featuring the 12 of the founding teams that would never face relegation. The move was condemned by fans and pundits, saying that it would create a closed shop at the top of football. The Scottish party leaders had differing views on Scottish teams, perhaps joining the European Super League. Willie Rennie said that we should concentrate on the day job of improving Scottish football and not have another divisive split. Nicola Sturgeon said Scottish teams should join the European League, but not a British one. And Douglas Ross said it was a penalty to Rangers.
I loved the absolute moral high ground of everybody, and then Scottish football ghosted in at the back post and went, well, let me tell you, we don't agree with that. Which is like me turning up to the Olympic 100 metres with an egg and a spoon. Do you know what I mean? It fell apart quicker than Boris Johnson's briefing room, so I think it was well put to task.
This is the worst idea since somebody went, it doesn't need more lifeboats, it's unsinkable. I mean, there was a lot of hyperbole around it. Like the Chelsea Supporters Trust went, this is the ultimate betrayal. And you think, I mean, who's writing their press release? Is it Judas Iscariot going, no, this is definitely worse than what I did, lads. This is the ultimate betrayal. This is way, way worse.
What did you think about it, Laura? Do you think this is just billionaires trying to make more money?
I don't know. I didn't really get it. I had a big chat. My husband's quite a footballer and a fan. Doesn't move, obviously. But I said, and I was like, I don't get it. Why is it bad? And he was like, oh, for reasons. And I was like, oh, okay. Well, just don't watch it then if you don't like it. And he was like, oh, but then they'll get kicked out of the other league. And I was like, all right, well, will they get smaller clubs to replace them in the other league? Yeah, all right, well, if everybody wants smaller clubs, choose to support one of them then. I do not understand why it was a problem. Like, if you don't want billionaire owners, there's loads of rubbish football teams.
Yeah.
Support one of them? I don't know. I don't get
it. Well, we've got football fans and non-football fans here, so it's a nice question to ask what you would do to improve the game. So, Bruce, I'm going to start with you. How would you make football better?
I would probably get Nigella to do a low-carb pastry for the pies.
Susie, what would you do to improve football? How could you make it better?
I would double the size of the goals and have 3 balls on the pitch. That's what I would do.
Yes, multi-ball.
Yes, just chaos and carnage.
Final word to you on this, Neil. What would you do to make football better?
I tackle diving. It really annoys me. So the new rule is if you're caught simulating whatever you pretend happened gets to happen. So if you're running into the box and you dive and you pretend that the centre half has kicked the ankles off you, if you're faking and he hasn't kicked the ankles off you, he now gets to kick the ankles off you. This is the new rule.
With all this distracting Super League talk, Celtic and Rangers have remained united in checking their spam folders for any trace of an invite. Well done, Neil and Susie. You get 2 points for that. It was the mashup of changing restrictions and the not-so-Super League. And at the end of that round, the teams are on 2 points apiece. Woohoo! Now, so much of our news is about public opinion, and this week we spoke to legendary comedian, actress and writer Karen Dunbar and actor and star of Guilt, Eamon Elliott. So, Neil and Susie, what story do you think Eamon is on about here?
I think simplifying is a dangerous idea. Actually, I think there are so many clues in the language that offer us an insight into the country's history. I did struggle a bit at school. I remember particularly with the word consciousness. I found what helped was using rhythm to help me remember words. For instance, I can still remember a little song I made for the word accommodation. ACCOMMODATION.
It's to do with spelling being simplified and changed, isn't it?
This is the news that the English Spelling Society and the American Literary Council have come up with a new way of spelling that they hope will improve literacy. The new system, called Traditional Spelling Revised, or TSR, would see changes in up to 18% of words in the English language. Amongst other simplifications, it eliminates silent letters such as the W in wrong and the G in Nash, and cuts irregular spellings to just 60. Now, one rival to the English Spelling Society system is the Starbucks spelling system. You just write a series of random letters on a cup no matter what the customer tells you. So, Neil, we have a change in how we do spelling and words. Do you think this is a good idea?
Well, I wouldn't mind this, but it's very obvious what they've done here. This is a collaboration between an English society and an American society, because they know if they let the rest of the world who speaks English in, this is going to be a very long Zoom call, Des. This is going to be something that's never going to... Right, lads, we all agreed Brown is B-R-O-W-N. Oh, no, Jane in Belfast, you don't agree? No. How would you like to spell it? B-R-A-N-E. Brian. There's no way they could allow all the rest of us involved in this, because it would take too long. So it does seem a little bit kind of elitist, Des, if you know what I mean.
Did you see the thing about who have been members of this society through time? So it's people like Darwin, Tennyson, Wells, Twain, Roosevelt were all patrons of this society. Do you know what they've got in common? They're all dead. Coincidence? There you are.
Laura, what about you on this one? Obviously, changing vocabulary, switching pronunciations and spellings. Do you think this could be a good idea?
I think it's a bit late, isn't it? Does anybody need to know how to spell anymore? You just need to be able to recognise a wiggly red line under what you've written.
Yes.
Who still knows how to spell? I don't know how to spell anything. I just click on it and go, oh, is that how you spell that? Cool. And then try and write the next word. And then luckily there's a smart bloke in my computer that goes, I don't know what she's up to, but it looks vaguely like this word that we've heard of.
Bruce, what about you? Do you think it's a good idea?
Oh, honestly, I don't care. I can't spell and I can't count, and it hasn't held me back. Right, because I remember once being in the car and I'd said to the dogs, or the dad, I went, look at that. That's an absolute disgrace. This is a rural location. There's a disco there. Look at that disco nut. And he turned around and he went like that. Says discount, you're an idiot.
Neil Delamere, what is your favourite word or phrase if you have one?
I was in a petrol station in the middle of the night once, and there's a taxi driver getting his petrol, and he was really impatient, right? And just before he got to the window, these two lads who might have possibly been using a lot of drugs got in the queue in front of him and started ordering apples, right? They didn't go buy any petrol, and they were ordering apples. But the taxi driver got really annoyed at them, and then eventually he said to them, you're an absolute disgrace ordering apples in a petrol station, wasting everybody's time. And the guy turned around and went, an apple is petrol if you only have a horse. Then just walked away. It was like some sort of Zen saying.
Shaking up our spelling is the correct answer. 2 points go to Neil and Susie. So to you now, Bruce and Laura, what do you think Karen Dunbar is talking about here?
It is embarrassing. It's not only embarrassing, it is dangerous, I tell you. Maybe most councillors aren't bothered because they're on bikes all the time. Is that what it is? Is it bike favouritism? I would solve this problem with porridge. I think if everybody just made a big pot of porridge, went to the roads nearest them and used the porridge, everything would be all right for a couple of days.
We're just talking about, potholes, isn't it? All the roads are screwy because it's been so cold. But I'm a bit annoyed that the week I'm on a very fun topical panel show, I'm here to talk about potholes. I feel like my dad stood in the garden chatting to the neighbours.
Well done, by the way, for identifying the correct answer from Karen there. It is the news that an icy winter has triggered a record number of potholes across Scotland's roads, which look like the surface of the moon, according to a British automotive services company.
How do people know that potholes are getting worse? Where have people been going? Like, this pothole would have to be between my bed and the fridge for me to notice it this year.
What about you on this then, Bruce? Do you think our roads in Scotland are getting worse?
Yeah, I do. I think they're absolutely appalling. And my mother and her friends are now going around the regions with various stovies recipes to try and fill in the potholes, because they're so disgusted. As you know, there's many regional variations. Laura, stovies, it's a potato-based dish. We'd like it, but it doesn't like us, if you catch my drift.
Also, you will hear that there's a slight sound difference in Bruce's feed, because it was starting to go there. You now are, with no delay, crystal clear, but you do sound like, remember Annika Rice when she was in Treasure Hunt?
Can I just say, I should be given actually an award, a gold pothole in my name every 3 seconds. Hi, we don't want to lose you, we don't want to lose you. I'm close to ending it, people, so let's just press on.
If you've just tuned in for authenticity in this round, Bruce is broadcasting live from a pothole.
I know a man, and this is my favourite nickname. He's a builder, and he's called Pothole because he is to be avoided at all costs, which is my favourite nickname of anybody. I mean, I don't know. I was looking at the stuff that they were saying in the article about potholes, and like the local authorities said, "Oh, well, we're fixing a pothole every 19 seconds," and I was like, "Try a different pothole."
No, they are not every 19 seconds. Thank you very much, because I am out there, Neil, just monitoring and checking, and the biggest pothole we have in Scotland is Hart Hill.
Susie, what about it? I know you were saying round where you are the potholes are absolutely shocking. So how do you think we should solve it then?
See those people that want to bring in the spelling and change that? Just put them down the potholes. That's it. We've had enough.
It's getting so bad now that if you actually drive straight in a Scottish road, you're pulled over by the police because they think you're drunk. Constantly weaving everywhere you go.
Maybe we're thinking about this the wrong way. Instead of trying to fill them back up, maybe just leave it until the entire road drops down to the level of the first pothole.
Embarrass the council so much. So what you do is, I do what Laura suggests. Wait and wait and wait, and then just when the council is nearby, if they're ever nearby, hire some Chilean miners to climb triumphantly out of the pothole and go, oh, that was much worse than we thought it was. Surely at that stage you'd have to fix it.
When Nicola Sturgeon said last March there was a long and bumpy road ahead, nobody realised she was speaking literally. Yes, problem potholes is the correct answer, and 2 points goes to Bruce and Laura. And you're tuned to a socially distant Breaking the News on BBC Radio Scotland with me, Des Clark. Now, this round is all about who is in the news, so I will play you a clip of a mystery person. All you have to do is tell me who it is. So, Bruce and Laura, you're up first this time. Who is this?
I kind of want to learn to fly, and I don't want to learn to fly. I really like flying in helicopters. I haven't flown a helicopter. However, I think I'll totally panic with the instruments because I was so tense once we landed. I literally couldn't move my neck. I was so nervous.
Michael Keaton.
Yes, that is the right answer. Well done to you, Bruce. That was, of course, Michael Keaton. The 69-year-old has been confirmed to reprise his role as Batman in The Flash, almost 30 years after he last played the part. At least Commissioner Gordon won't need the bat signal to summon a 69-year-old Batman. He can just project Michael Parkinson, offering a free Parker pen. So, Bruce, what are you thinking then? Michael Keaton, 69 years old, back as Batman. Are you happy with this?
I think it's good. I hear he's being sponsored by Turmeric and Hope, so I think that'll be lovely to get him in and out the suit. But I think I'm all for it. I say bring them back. Bring Sharon Stone back.
Oh, for another Basic Instinct?
No, just in general. I'd like to be friends with her. I think we'd get on.
Laura, what do you think? Are you happy to see this return?
Sure! Sure, yeah. What I want, though, is for him to take on issues that the average 69-year-old is interested in. So instead of, like, fighting baddies on the street, I want him turning up on an episode of Bargain Hunt and getting them the best price.
I quite like that. Yeah, and at the
Just
end...
wandering around like, is it warm enough? No, put a cardigan on. Pew, 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 I'm the Batman. That's what I want from him.
My only worry is, at his age, is he going to be able to do that high kick they do at the end of every episode of Bargain Hunt?
Have you seen Debbie Reynolds before she died? She was splitting and kicking all over the place. She was a human casting wheel. Absolute taste.
I just hope that the villains are the same age as Batman. I want the Riddler, his new riddle to be, why did I come into this room?
Can you imagine just like the Batmobile screeching into Gotham City and he just gets out and fires on a blue badge? Like,
Neil, final thoughts on this to you. If you could invent a brand new superhero, what powers would they have?
Well, I've no need to invent one because I've recently met one and I didn't even realise. I brought my granny for medical tests and the nurse turned to me and went, now your granny will be radioactive for about 6 hours. Do you have any questions? Yes, I have a few questions, all right. Yes, I do. Will she glow in the dark? That's going to scare the crap out of my granddad. He's lying in the bed and she walks in like E.T.'s finger. I'll be honest with you, Des, I didn't have the temerity to say any of this. I just said, I better ring my dad. And the nurse went, what? You can't use a mobile phone in here. I was like, you've just weaponised a pensioner.
Yes, now that Batman is to be played by a pensioner, a struggle with the Penguin just means he's dropped a chocolate biscuit into his tea. Well done, 2 points to Bruce and Laura. That was Michael Keaton, of course it was. Right, to you, Neil and Susie, it's your turn. Who is this and why are they in the news?
Well, as a Swede, I can say people do actually go to IKEA just for the meatballs. It's a national pride. I'm a vegan, so of course I don't like meatballs, but as a Swede, I'm deeply offended.
This is wee Greta Thunberg. God love her, but do you know what, Greta? Like, see when lockdown's over, just get yourself to Ibiza with your pals.
Greta is in the news this week after an interview on BBC Radio 1 where she talked about meeting with fellow campaigner Sir David Attenborough and her upcoming documentary on climate change, A Year to Change the World. Do you think she's actually changing her attitudes to the environment?
I think she kind of shamed our generation. And ultimately, we'll kind of go, aye, okay, we probably need to fix this, you know, whereas, like, my mum and dad are like, ugh, all the bins, I just put it in but one's empty. Do you know what I mean?
Bruce, what do you think about Greta Thunberg, and is she having a positive impact on how we feel about the environment?
Yeah, I think she is. I did laugh when she said I should be at school in that famous speech, because I thought if I'd said that to my mum, I should be at school, and I wasn't, she would have just clipped me round the jaw and said, well, get to school then. I'm sorry, you're not an urban warrior. You're just a little troon, actually, so I don't care if you came all the way in a dinghy. Go and get your SPMG and your textbooks and get back to school. It's funny, actually.
Laura, what do you think about Greta Thunberg? Do you think she's made a big difference in the world and her attitude towards the environment?
Yeah, she seems pretty good. I mean, I'm quite into the environment anyway. I have a thing called eco-anxiety, and it means you're pretty worried about the environment. I sort of sat down with some doctors and we all agreed it was easier to medicate me than have a word with China. I sort of feel like, yeah, she's doing all right. The main argument seems to be like, she's a kid, she shouldn't be doing it. And you go, all right, you do it then. And everyone goes, nah, so I actually leave her doing it.
Greta Thunberg, as we've mentioned, worked with the legend that is David Attenborough on this new documentary. What idol of yours would you love to work with?
Nicole Kidman, I really think, is a great actress. I don't know if you saw The Undoing. The difference between the pressure on women in Hollywood and men in Hollywood, because if you've seen her in it, she looks absolutely amazing. There isn't one line on her face, not a wrinkle, not a crease. And she looks like this because she's kind of forced to look like this. And then the other lead actor in that is Hugh Grant. And he walks in and he looks wrecked. He looks like he slept on a corduroy pillow. It's absolutely fantastic.
Laura, I'll bring you in this one. What idol of yours would you love to work with?
Jurgen Klopp.
Ah, nice. Now, why Jurgen Klopp?
Have you seen him?
Yeah.
Those reasons. All of those reasons.
He also stood up to the European Super League this week as Liverpool manager, so he's a man of principle.
Sure. But have you seen him?
Yeah.
Because it wouldn't be like a German to try and start a fight in Europe, would it? Jeez, oh.
Bruce Devlin, who would your idol be and why would you love to work with them?
I would like to do an advice show or an advice phone-in with Joan Collins because I've met her. She is as unempathetic in real life as I am in real life. I really think people would enjoy it.
And what is Joan like in person?
She's firm but fair.
I bet.
Very formal. She was doing a show in Edinburgh and we got to go backstage. And she went, do you want a photo? And I went, uh-huh. And she started looking around all over the place. And I thought she was having some kind of attack. And I said, Dame Joan, I said, what are you doing? She went, oh, for goodness sake, I'm finding my light. Honestly, I have never been so speechless. I thought, how wonderful. And the best light was in front of the vending machine.
Well done. Greta Thunberg is the right answer. 2 points go to Neil and Susie. And it's time now for our final quick fire round, which is all about deciphering the numbers in the news. So I will read out a headline. All the teams have to do is fill in the blanks. So get ready, teams. When we run out of time, you'll hear this.
It came out of the blue, didn't it?
There you go. That's Gary Lineker on the shock decision to ditch the Downing Street briefing room. All right. Here we go. 50% of runners are in danger of what?
Getting a good slap if they breathe near me.
50% of runners are in danger of what?
Being caught by the bear behind them.
50% of runners are in danger of what?
Boring everyone to tears with the route that they've just taken and posted on Twitter because no one cares. What are you running from, you freaks?
50% of runners are in danger of what?
Making Mike Ashley a billionaire. What he's supposed to write.
The actual stats are this, that 50% of runners are in danger of hurting their knees, calves or Achilles tendons whilst out running, a new study shows.
That happened to Lulu.
No.
Amazing.
No, it did, because she's a pavement jogger. So Lulu has a dicky knee, a dicky patella.
So,
or if your kneecap suddenly lurches to the right, it's a pretty patella.
Very good.
Nice.
It came out of the blue, didn't it?
Oh, there we go. That is our klaxon. Gary has Lineker, and it means at the end of the quiz, our winners this week are Neil Delamere and Susie McKay. And commiserations to Bruce Devlin and Laura Leck. And we'll leave you with the breaking the news. Breaking news just in. Nicola Sturgeon has pledged to deliver a wraparound system of childcare in Scotland, providing year-round care before and after school, prompting some critics to ask where she's going to find the time. Pope Francis is back greeting crowds of the faithful in St Peter's Square after weeks of lockdown. His Holiness said that as normality returned, it was his solemn duty to offer blessings to all, but only if the faithful were taking a substantial meal and could pay by debit card. And the Met Office is working with Microsoft to build a climate change and weather forecasting supercomputer in the UK. The forecaster said the partnership made sense, as they both predict the weather by looking at windows. The news is broken. I've been Des Clark. Goodbye.